Hey, hockey fans, how's everybody doing? There was 7 games February 21st, Friday night, and I think there's 11 on the board for Saturday, the 22nd. So we'll just review the games quick, and then we'll get on to the picks for the 22nd. The Rangers defeated Carolina 5-2. The Islanders got out of their slump and won 4-1 over Detroit. Chicago made a nice comeback and won 2-1 in overtime. St. Louis dominated Dallas, won 5-1. Boston-Calgary game was crazy. Calgary came out of the gate and scored a couple quick goals, and I think there was 4 goals in that game in less than the first 4 minutes of the game, which was nuts. But Boston ended up coming back and winning the game 4-3. Minnesota over Edmonton 5-3, and then Colorado edged over Anaheim 1-0. So it was a pretty decent day, actually. I got my best bet, which was the Rangers. So for my best bet now, I'm 3-1, current 1-game winning streak, which is nice. And then on some side action I had the Islanders up -1.5. I got that. I took an over on the Minnesota Edmonton game. I got that. Colorado -1.5. I missed that by a goal. I was hoping they'd get an empty netter, but didn't happen. And then the New York Rangers money line, I got that one. So for the day, I went 6-1, which is a pretty decent day. 11 games for Saturday, February 22nd. So we'll get right to the picks. And I know a lot of people probably won't agree with my picks for this day, but we'll find out at the end of the day who picked right. First game, we've got Washington against New Jersey. New Jersey is 5-3-2 with a current 1-game winning streak. Blackwood is likely actually in net for New Jersey. In their last game, they defeated San Jose 2-1. Washington's tied for first in the Metropolitan. It's not going to stay that way if they keep playing the way they are, but currently they're tied for first in the Metropolitan. They're 3-6-1 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. Samsonov has been confirmed in net. This is one of the early matches, and their last loss was to Montreal 4-3 in overtime. The Capitals lead the season series 2-1. The Caps won 6-3 in December, Devils 5-1 in January, and then in January the Caps also won 5-2. Ovechkin's going to be looking to get the monkey off his back and get this next goal, so everyone quits talking about number 700. I'm sure he's going to be looking to get more than that. Blackwood's looking to win his 6th straight start at home. He's been playing good goaltending. Samsonov, on the other hand, is making his first appearance since he let in 5 goals on 20 shots, and Holtby had to relieve him. So I'm taking New Jersey. I'm taking the home team here to beat Washington, and that's my first pick. Second game, we've got Winnipeg against Philly. Philly in their last 10 are 7-3-0, current 2-game winning streak. They're third in the Metropolitan. Hart has been confirmed in net for Philly. They're playing a Winnipeg squad that I think is in their zone. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10, current 3-game winning streak. Hellebuck has been confirmed in net, and they're in a wild card position currently. Winnipeg won the first time these teams met back in December 7-3. Hart has been lights out at home. He's 11-1-0 with a 1.58 goals against average and a .945 save percentage in his past 12 home games. Obviously contributing to one of the reasons Philly's such a strong home team. And this is a really tough game. I think this might be the toughest game out of all of them on Saturday to pick. And I know there's part of me that's saying Philly's going to win this game, strong home team, Hart, blah, blah, blah. But I'm taking Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg's playing really nice hockey. Scheifele is, he's playing some of his best this season. I'm going to take Winnipeg as my second pick to beat Philly. On to the third game, we've got Buffalo against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 6-3-1 with a current 1-game losing streak. Jari is probable. They're tied for first in the Metropolitan. Their last loss was to Toronto 4-0. Buffalo, Hutton probable in net. Their last 10, they're 5-4-1, current 1-game losing streak. Their last loss was to Ottawa 7-4. Buffalo leads the season series 1-0 with a 3-1 win back in October. Buffalo's been a hot and cold team. I think they've won 3 of their last 4. And I think it's going to take another game before Pittsburgh gets over that 4-0 loss to Toronto. So I'm going to take a pretty big upset here. I'm going to take Buffalo to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Game 4. Carolina against Toronto. Toronto, Frederik Andersen is probable in net. They're third in the Atlantic. They're 4-5-1 with a current one-game winning streak with that win over Pittsburgh 4-0. Carolina is going to have Mrazek probable in net. 5-4-1 in their last 10, current one-game losing streak when they lost to the Rangers 5-2. The Leafs won 8-6 back in December, the only game these teams have played this season. I'm expecting a pretty tight hockey game here. Toronto was a little better on the power play with their 4-0 win. I think they were 1 out of 3. I still think they're going to have to do more. Obviously, they showed up when they beat Pittsburgh, but or are they going to show up again? I don't know. And I think Carolina is going to come out fighting hard. I'm going to take Carolina, visiting team Carolina, to beat Toronto. Game 5, Montreal against Ottawa. Ottawa 3-5-2, current one-game losing streak. Hogberg is probable in net for Ottawa. Their last game was a loss to Winnipeg 5-1. Montreal's 4-5-1 in their last 10 with a current one-game winning streak with that unbelievable win against Washington in overtime after being swept by Detroit. The Canadiens lead this series 2-1. Senators 1-2-1 in November. Canadiens 3-2 in December. And again, Canadiens 2-1 in January. I think Montreal's going to have some confidence after that win over Washington. And I see them winning this game. So game 5, I'm picking Montreal to beat Ottawa. Game 6, we've got San Jose against the hot New York Rangers. New York Rangers are 7-3-0 with a current 2-game winning streak. Shesterkin is probable in net. He's listed as probable right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone else, maybe Georgiev, plays net. Their last win was over Carolina 5-2. San Jose's 5-5-0, current 2-game losing streak. Dell is probable in net for San Jose, and their last game was a loss to New Jersey 2-1. The Rangers lead the season series 1-0 with a 6-3 win in December. Rangers have got some players. Zibanejad and Panarin are playing nice hockey. The Rangers have won 6 of their last 7 games, and I feel like San Jose is trending down. I'm going to stay with the hot team here, and I'm going to go the Rangers to win at home against San Jose. On to Game 7, we've got Tampa against Arizona. Arizona 4-5-1 in their last 10 with a current 2-game losing streak. Ranta is probable in net. Their last game was a loss to St. Louis where they lost 2-1. I watched part of that game, and I thought Ranta played pretty good. I don't think that was the problem there, but anyway, playing Tampa 9-1-0 in their last 10, current one-game losing streak caused by Vegas. Vegas broke that 11-game winning streak they had going. Vasilevsky is probable in net for Tampa. They're second in the Atlantic, and their last game was a loss to Vegas 5-3. The Lightning won 4-0 early in January. The game was in Tampa. Now this game's in Arizona. If Tampa was playing a tougher team here, I don't know if I would go with Tampa, but I am going to go with Tampa to beat Arizona for my 7th pick. Game 8, Columbus against Nashville. Nashville 5-4-1 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. Saros is probable in net for Nashville. Their last loss was to Chicago 2-1 in overtime. Columbus 3-3-4 in their last 10, and they have an overtime decision as their streak. Merzlikins is probable in net for Columbus, and their last loss was to Philly 4-3 in overtime. And these teams have not played each other yet this season. A lot of people are saying Columbus is having a lot of struggles, and they're not. Anyway, they're talking negative about Columbus. I don't think Columbus is playing that bad. I mean, 4 of their last 6 have went into extra time or shootouts, and they've been in the games. They just haven't been able to shut the door. Nashville should have won that game against Chicago that they played here on Friday night, and they allowed Chicago to get back into it and then lose in overtime. I'm going to take the visiting team here. I'm going to take Columbus to beat Nashville for my 8th pick. 9th pick, we've got Boston against Vancouver. Vancouver, in their last 10, 4-4-2 with an overtime decision. Markstrom is probable in net for Vancouver. They're 3rd in the Pacific, and their last game was a 4-3 loss to Minnesota in a shootout. Boston 9-1-0 in their last 10 with a current 5-game winning streak. Rask is probable in net. They're 1st in the Atlantic, and their last win was over Calgary 4-3. The Bruins won 4-0 earlier this month in Boston, and yeah, now they're playing their second and their last game of the season together in Vancouver. I'm going to take Vancouver here, a home team to beat Boston. Vancouver to beat Boston for my 9th pick. On to game 10, we've got Florida against Vegas. Vegas 7-2-1, current 4-game winning streak. Fleury's probable in net. They're first in the Pacific, and their last game was a win over Tampa where they won 5-3. Florida 3-6-1, current 1-game losing streak. Bobrovsky is probable in net for Florida, and their last game was a loss to the Kings 5-4. The Golden Knights lead the season series 1-0 with a 7-2 win earlier in February. I mean, this one I think is going to be my best bet. I mean, Florida's trending down. Vegas is trending up. Yeah, best bet. I'm going to take Vegas to beat Florida. The last game on the board here, we've got Colorado against Los Angeles. Los Angeles 4-6-0. Current 1-game winning streak. Peterson is listed as probable for Los Angeles. A couple of young goaltenders in this one, actually. And their last game was a win against Florida 5-4. Colorado 7-2-1 in their last 10 with a current 2-game winning streak. And the young prospect Werner is listed as probable, so it'll be interesting to see if he plays. That'd be good. They're second in the Central, and their last game was a win over Anaheim 1-0. LA leads the season series 1-0 with a 3-1 win earlier in February. LA looked like a decent team the last time I watched them play. They didn't look like a team that should be in last place, but Colorado is a strong team too. They had some really good goaltending here on Friday, and if that stays true with Werner and that, I see Colorado winning this game. Visiting team, Colorado to beat Los Angeles. So we'll just review those February 22nd picks quick. I'm going to take New Jersey to beat Washington. I'm going to take Winnipeg to beat Philly, Buffalo to beat Pittsburgh, Carolina to beat Toronto, Montreal to beat Ottawa. I'm going to take the Rangers to beat San Jose, Tampa to beat Arizona, Columbus to beat Nashville, and Vancouver to beat Boston. Vegas is my best bet to beat Florida, and Colorado to beat Los Angeles. I did take a little side action for tomorrow already too. I took the Canucks on the money line at 2.25. I took the Columbus Blue Jackets money line at 2.3. I took the Rangers at -1.5 at 2.45. And then I took the over on the Jets-Philly game, which was sitting at 6 is where I got it, at 1.83. So we'll see how that goes. I hope everyone has a wonderful Saturday. Lots of games, early games, late games, lots of hockey to watch. So good luck with your picks, and really appreciate you watching. Thanks.